unroll it, take my plastic, remove my mat, and I should have those two ends coming together very nicely. It's kind of ugly right there, I trimmed it, but that's your objective, to have the two ends come together nicely and to have the plastic in between it so that you're not actually messing up your work area and messing up the mat. Okay, hands wet. I have a nice roll with a nice quarter inch of rice on the outside. Okay, now that I have that, I can store this right in this roll. I don't have to do anything else with it, except if I wanted to get different textures, different looks, I can do this. And also they recommend with the sushi that you use a very thin, a very sharp knife for cutting sushi. For us, it may be similar to the boning knife. It has a real thin blade, real sharp, and it goes right into sushi. There's a smaller knife with a real small serrated edge in it that works very well with this particular dish. I don't have it here. So you can see the carrot and the crab meat in the inside. Now I want to create different textures, so what I'm going to do, cut half of that. And you can create textures with sesame seeds, with parsley, variety of items that you find laying around the kitchen. I'm going to do this with just some dill here. So if I had some toasted sesame seed, I'd do the same thing. Probably, again, to keep the mess down, you really should use some plastic. Let's try to do that with some plastic. Cuts down on your cleaning area. All right. Well, let's say I got some dill in here. I'll take my sushi, spread this out, and I want to create a different look here. Okay. So I give that some color on the outside. Do the same thing with sesame seeds, black sesame seeds, just regular toasted sesame seeds or anything like that. So now I have this plain rice, and then I have a textured one with something on the outside. Next thing you want to do is cut it. All right, you can cut round sushi, just straight like that. That's the most popular way that you see it, just cut very round like that. And notice my two ends are not coming together exactly like I wanted, but that's okay. You can cut the sushi at an angle. So it looks like it has more height. So you can cut sushi like that. Okay, let's cut one of these. Coming apart a little bit. Okay. So you have different textures, different looks. The way you cut it is also important too. You can cut it straight up and down. You can cut it so it stands up. You put your little garnishings on there, or just leave it like that. The center really should be your garnishing. Okay. What I would like to do is have 1.5 to 2 ounce portions of sushi on a plate, garnish with, you put a little wasabi. This is the wasabi mixture. We use the powder, put some water to it, and you make it into a paste. And what you can do is get a vegetable. It could be a slice of cucumber, it could be a radish, or whatever. You put a little wasabi in there, and you serve it on the plate with the sushi. Or in some places they just put it right on top. Just put a little dab. It only takes a little bit because it's very powerful. Okay? So you got your wasabi. You got your different sushi cuts. That's the California style. That's what we're doing. Can you see that? The other types of sushi rolls that you can make, of course, we're not going to do that in this class, but it's just a regular roll using the nori as the outer layer, which is common. Again, I'm going to get my mat. Piece of plastic. Even though I'm using just the nori, not the rice, I'm still going to get the plastic. I'm going to cut this sheet down a little further because I know that those two ends are not going to meet unless I cut it a little bit more. So now what I'm trying to do is get these two ends to meet just like that. All right, so I cut that down. Get my rice. Now on the inside, this time I want to get 1/4 of an inch of rice because this is one of my main ingredients here. All right, so I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch, leaving a little room on the edge so that my ends can meet properly. I'm not concerned with this end here. The top and the bottom is what I'm concerned with. But notice my rice is really sticky. You got to have a gummy type rice, and this rice works out very well for that. It's used as a bonding agent. It bonds. Okay, so I got my items spread. Again, I'm going to do my vegetables. And you can choose what vegetables you use in that. All depends on what your customers like or what you have available. Sushi is very popular because it's considered healthy. Depends on what you use in there. I mean, it's still starchy, but you can make it just a purely vegetarian. You can do a lot of different things with sushi. And a lot of the Asian food are considered very healthy for you because they eat real light. They eat a steady diet of food that helps with the circulation of your blood. It helps cleanse your body. So I think in one of the studies that was done, they talked about this holistic medicine where they use herbs and things to cure the body of different things. Well, that has to do with food also, the types of food you eat. All right, I have my nori ready. I'm going to do the same technique. I'm going to get that first one up. My thumb is underneath. And notice I am trying to hold my center here. So I'm going to bring that over. See where my center is. See where it's trying to meet here. Keep rolling it till I get it together, and then I'm going to press on it. Now, this is going to be a little smaller roll. I'm hoping to get them together a little better for you. Bring that back. Okay. See what I was trying to accomplish here? I want these two to meet. So you got to press it. I pressed it, but I didn't press it down enough. Okay, so you have a nice roll. It's more tubular, more narrow than the thicker one I cut because that's a California. It's got rice on the outside. Okay, but it still worked out. This has a lot of color to it.